Okay. Okay. So, welcome everyone, and thank you for coming in and joining us and showing Hakara Satov to Yael for doing this for us, davening together, and all the things that we do together. Thank you so much. Yael Dworkin is the Education and Program Director of Shevach Torah, an art program based in Nachlaos, Jerusalem. Most classes are hybrid and all are invited to join. Shevach is the women's branch of Yeshivat Simchas Shlomo. Yael made Aliyah from Canada 4 years ago, where she was involved in Jewish education for some 30 years. So I feel very, very privileged, and I thank Yael so much for coming on. Go ahead, Yael.
Okay. Thank you so much for inviting me. It's a big schus to be sharing these words of Torah with all of you, and B'ezrat Hashem. We'll get something out of it, something for our personal avoda, especially going into Hanukkah. I'm basing the shir on things that I heard from Rav Reuven Sasson Shlita and from the Chalban, the Rav Chaim HaKohen, Zecher Tzadik V'Kadosh Livracha. So B'ezrat Hashem, I'll begin. B'ezrat Hashem Naseh v'Netzliach. There's a question. There's a question concerning Hanukkah. The Mishnah Berurah says that the days of Hanukkah were not set aside for feasting, for mishteh, for seudah. We only have that one mitzvah of looking at the nerot, at the candles, and we're not allowed to even use them for anything, just to bask in their light. And the question is, why? So the usual answer we give is because, unlike Purim, that Haman wanted to destroy the body of the Jew, wanted to kill us, get rid of us, Hanukkah did not want to necessarily, the Greeks did not want to kill us. They just wanted to sever our connection with Torah. But so the mitzvah of Hanukkah is spiritual in nature because they wanted to sever our connection with Torah, because our spirituality, as opposed to Purim that wanted to destroy our bodies. And this is a well-known explanation of why Hanukkah has only this ethereal kind of mitzvah. But Rav Reuven Sasson, he asked a very interesting question. We have the holiday of Shavuos called Etzeret in Torah, in Chumash, right? So Torah is Mina Shamayim. And the discussion in the Gemaras concerning Shavuos is how to celebrate it. And the overwhelming opinion, there's no dissenting opinion really, is that it's a holiday that celebrates, it's for Hashem, it's the giver of Torah, but it's also for us because we receive the Torah, and the Torah is meant to be Mekadesh all our existence, every aspect of our Gashmias living in this world, our eating, our relating in all kinds of ways to this world. And so the discussion is, do we have a Suda on Shavuos? Is it Kulo Lashem? Is it is it Lachem? Is it only to Hashem? And the answer is, no, it's Lachem. It's also Lachem. So we spend time in Torah and prayer, we go to shul, but then we come home and we feast and we eat, because the guf itself has to be mitkadesh, because the whole point of Torah is to be mitkadesh, the guf, the body, and all aspects of living in this world in Olam Hazeh. And the Greeks, they wanted to sever our connection with Torah. And if we say that Torah, all of Torah Kula, the whole point of Torah is to be Mekadesh living in this world, so why don't we also celebrate through a feast? We feast plenty on Hanukkah, but it's not a mitzvah of the Torah. The only mitzvah, it's not even a mitzvah of the Torah, it's the Rabbanan. But the only mitzvah associated with Hanukkah is really lighting the candles, and we can't even partake of them, use them in any physical way to read by them or anything else like that. And the question is, why? If the whole point of Torah is to be Mekadesh Olam Hazeh, so the holiday that wanted to sever our connection with Torah, to pull us away, as we say in Ala Nisim, in the Amida prayer, Lehashkicham, what they wanted to do for us, they rose up against us. Lehashkiach Toratecha, Laviram miretzon michukecha, miretzon chukecha, rose up against us to make us forget the Torah and transgress the will of Hashem. So why isn't it that we also celebrate the guf on Hanukkah, since the whole point of Torah is to be mekadosh the guf? Okay, it's a ruchnius document, but it's also for the guf. I hope that the question is clear. And so this is the question that Rav Sasson asked, and he came up with an answer that is right on point, I believe. It speaks to my heart very, very much. What's the difference between Shavuos, which is the holiday of Torah, and Hanukkah, which is also the holiday of Torah, because that's what they wanted to sever our connection from the spirituality of Torah? That the difference is that in Shavuos, we came out of Mitzrayim, and we did our walk through the desert, 50 days. We stood at the foot of Mount Sinai, and Torah came from Shemaim. But it didn't come as a fight. It didn't come with a war that wanted to disconnect us from Torah. It was a matana mina Shemaim. And the whole point of the matana mina Shemaim that Torah is to be mekadesh chaye olam hazeh, that we bring the spirituality of Torah to the nitty-gritty details of everything in this world. Unlike Hanukkah, that yes, they wanted to sever our connection from Torah and mitzvahs, but what they wanted to sell us at the same time is that there is only olam hazeh. Forget this nonsense of olam haba. The world is a beautiful place. The culture of the Greek culture celebrates the beauty of this world, the aesthetics. There's music, there's culture, there's science, there's developing and advancing in all kinds of technologies, which, yes, we also partake of these technologies and they make life easier in the world. But they look at the Jew and they said, all this stuff about Torah mina Shamayim, it's just limiting and limiting actualizing your potential of this world. The world is a beautiful place. Why do you need the Torah for? And they open up their arms and they say, come join us. Come and throw yourself into this olam hazeh. There's so much beauty. There's so much potential in it. Develop it. It can improve your life. And this is the culture of Western society that tries to, even till today, tries to sell us this world as an entity in itself worth living for. And we look at that and we say, you tell us, the Greeks, you say that the Torah is a burden. It's not a burden. If you're going to give us present us with a choice of only going for this world and forgetting olam haba, there's no context here. The reaction of the Jew is there is only Torah and mitzvahs. There is only Hashem. Ein od milvado. There is no such thing as this world with it being in a disconnect with spirituality. So Shavuos, we celebrate the body along with the ruchnius. We learn Torah, but there's room for the guf. There's room for making kiddush and suda and getting together and celebrating what life is like in olam hazeh with the Torah. Normally, in a normal way, in our normal day-to-day living, that's the way of the Jew. We have to bring the Torah into all aspects of life, all aspects of Gashmi life, of the mundane life, of the material life. And so there is Gam and Gam. There's the Guf and then there's Neshama, and both together have to celebrate Hashem, and we elevate everything to Kedusha. But as soon as you're saying, actually, I'm going to say something very cute that Rav Sasson said, Gam v'Gam, right? There's the Guf and the Neshama. When you do Gam v'Gam, you get Gimgum. Gimgum is like you're stuttering. When you're healthy, when your Neshama is healthy, you can do Gam v'Gam. But when Torah is at stake, when they want to sever the connection of Torah and mitzvahs from the Jew, this becomes a very dangerous thing, because there is no life without its connection with spirituality. And when that is placed on the table, when that is presented to us, the reaction of the Jew is, forget about all your pizza shops, forget about all the beauty that you want to sell us, forget about all the fancy shampoos you can come up with, and all the fancy cars or whatever it is. It's okay to use it in a normal situation and elevate it and do mitzvahs with it and through it and refine yourself as a human being through that, elevating this world back to Shamayim. Make that chibur ben Shamayim ve'eretz, between heaven and earth. But if you're telling me that I have to sever my connection to Torah and mitzvahs, that's what you wanted me to forget. The source of all of the point of this olam hazeh, which is to connect to Hashem, then there's no gam v'gam. There is only Hashem. And so there's only the light, and there is only the pnimius, and there's only the ruchnius, and there's only a Kadosh Baruch Hu. And that's what we hold on to very dear to life. B'misirut nefesh. This is what the Chashmonaim did. Chashmonaim, this I heard from my teacher of Asaf Biller. Chashmonaim is if you can hear the words chash shmone. They sensed the shmone. What's the shmone? The eighth level above the seven. Seven is nature, is the olam hazeh. The Chashmonaim were very, very sensitive to the fact that we have to make a distinction between what is ikar and what is tafel, what is essential and what is not essential in this world. What is essential is the nekuda pnimit, is the internal point of ruchnius that gives life and meaning to everything in this world. Once you take that internal point out, that nekuda of the shmone, of the eight, of the above teva, of above nature, the point of spirituality, the nekuda of the neshama kedosha, and our connection to Kadosh Baruch Hu, then there is no point of this world. There is no this world without olam haba, without Torah and mitzvahs, without a Kadosh Baruch Hu. So the Chashmonaim, those that chashed the shmone, that sensed the eighth dimension, above nature, of ruchnius, bringing it down to the details of our life, they said, forget about it. We don't want anything. We'll give up on food. We don't want to eat. Hanukkah, no eating. We are moser nefesh, olam hazeh. We are moser our nefesh behemit, with all its needs of this world and comforts and desires, which Hashem, by the way, wants us to enjoy. But without that nekuda pnimit, without that essential, there is no point. And so that is the whole point of Hanukkah. It's all about Torah and mitzvahs, but pitted against the emptiness of what the Greek culture wanted to have us believe in, this whole liberated world of why are you allowing a script from somewhere, who knows where, to limit what you're going to eat, when you're going to eat, what you're going to do, when you're going to do, who you're going to do it with. What do you need it for? Enjoy this world, enjoy this life. And we say when we're challenged in that way, the response of the Jew is ein od milvado. We give up on this world. As much as I like pizza, forget about it. I'm not going there. There is no point to any of that without HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And so there's a beautiful pasuk in Dvorkin. I'm going to read it to you. It's in, if you want to look it up after, it's in Perek Lamed Pasuk Chaf, chapter 30, verse 20. What is it? Lehava et Hashem Elokecha, לשמוע בקולו ולדבקה בו, כי הוא חייך ואורך ימיך, לשבת על האדמה אשר נשבע השם לאבותיך, לאברהם, יצחק ויעקב לתת להם. What is this saying? לאהבה את השם אלוקיך, to love. The whole point of Torah is to love Hashem, your God, to hearken to his voice, to cleave to him. כי הוא חייך ואורך ימיך, because he is your life and he is the length of your days. For that is your life and the length of your days, to dwell on the land which Hashem swore to your forefathers. It's Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, latet lahem, to give to them. This present war that we're fighting is about the right of the Jew to the land. The land is the place of Torah and mitzvahs, begadol. When Moshe Rabbeinu wanted to warn us before he died, before us coming into Israel, what did he warn us more than anything, over and over again in Sefer Devarim, is that be careful, live a Torah true life. Make sure you're connected to Torah mitzvahs and do not forget Hashem. Because if you do, you're going to lose out on the prize. What's the prize? Not Torah and mitzvahs, because we can do that in Chutz La'aretz. You're going to lose out on doing the mitzvahs on the land, in Eretz Yisrael, Eretz HaKodesh. Because this is where we're supposed to actualize all the potential. And from here, from the place of Makom of Beis HaMikdash, which we yearn for, and the lights of Hanukkah, the Chanukah, our Chanukah, is mamash like a copy paste. It's no other mitzvah is likened to it. That any Chanukah, any place a Jew lights a Chanukah, is mamash like the menorah of the Beis HaMikdash, and the koach of the Chanukah is to connect heaven and earth as the Kohen Gadol, as the Kohanim did their avoda in Beis Hamikdash, this is our avoda every Hanukkah to connect to what is ikar, what is essential, which is our connection to Hakadosh Baruch Hu, which is and through Hashem, he placed himself in the Torah that he wrote and he gave to us. He says, I'm giving me to you in the Torah that I gave you. But once the regular life of just living in this world is separated from Torah and mitzvahs, we say, there is nothing, no such thing. Einod milvado. We have to cleave to Hashem because He is our life. Ki hu chayecha ve'orech yamecha. And that is the point of Hanukkah. That was the point of the Chashmonaim. That is the point of the Mesiris Nefesh, of what they fought for and were willing. We know the happy ending of the Hanukkah story, but they went in it for the finish. They were ready to give up their souls for it. And another interesting thing that comes out from this whole battle with the Greeks is that once the Jews of that time won, once the Hashmonaim, once the Maccabees won, they didn't just regain regain the Beis Hamikdash and the avoda of Beis Hamikdash, that they were able to renew the avoda of the Beis Hamikdash, but the Malchus of Israel was reestablished, not in full force. The Greeks were still around, but we got our government back. There was Malchus Israel that came back. It's a complicated story, and I'm not going to go into it now. But what does it mean that Malchus Israel won out also alongside the Beis Hamikdash being liberated? Is that then after that we can go back to regular living of what it means to have a Malchus, a sovereignty, a rulership over our land. We can once again focus our attention on building the roads and building the infrastructure, that life should be okay and comfortable for the Jews to go back and forth into the Beis Hamikdash, but also to live their life in Kedusha, everything that they do. B'Kedusha, bringing all of the light of the Beis Hamikdash into the Malchus, into the everyday living of what it means to live in Olam Hazeh. Jewish people don't reject Olam Hazeh. That's not what our fight was against the Greeks. Olam Hazeh is a great thing, and the whole point of Torah is to bring Torah and the light of Torah into Olam Hazeh. But if you're going to pit one against the other, there is no contest. There is no Olam Hazeh. There is only Hashem, Einod Milvado. There's only the Kedusha of the Yid. And this is what the light of Hanukkah is coming to tell us. And so we don't partake of them, and there's no sudas that are prescribed by the rabbis that you have to have a suda. We do them because we're celebrating the tremendous simcha and the karasatov that the light won out. But it's not a mitzvah, because the whole point of Hanukkah is Einod Milvado. There is no point of living without Torah and mitzvahs. And so we're going to prove it that it's only for Hashem. And once we regain our connection to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, through the Beis Hamikdash, avodas Beis Hamikdash, and we go back to Torah and mitzvahs. What is the whole point of Torah and mitzvahs? Once we gaze on the lights, we focus on Einod Milvado, we understand that the whole ikar of life are Torah and mitzvahs. Then what happens to us, what is meant to happen, what the Torah is meant to do for us, is to refine us as human beings, is to purify us ourselves from the inside out, to sanctify ourselves, and to elevate all of life, to elevate the pnimius, to be able to live a real life of quality, and not just mefuzal, not just spending time on extraneous, on things that don't go anywhere except stay in this world. And so we're looking at the lights of Hanukkah. We don't do anything with them except for absorb the Kedusha of them. The Kedusha of the Nerot Hanukkah has the Kedusha of the Or Ganuz of the first day of creation, that potent light that gives meaning to everything. And this is what elevates a human being. This is what elevates the Jew. This is the message of the Jew for the whole world, that they should also understand that point for themselves. And in that way, we elevate Olam Hazeh. The whole point of Hanukkah, therefore, is to connect to the pnimius of things, to the pnimius of these, not the chitzoni of things. And this is what gives us the strength to overcome all of the challenges in this world and all of the distractions of this world, all of the attempts of disconnecting our soul from its source. And in that way, we get refined. We get refined in areas of bein adam lechavero, between our relationships. This is what has to be. It's not just me and God alone. It's me, how I am in this world. I'm gazing at the lights and I'm absorbing their light, and I'm allowing them to light me up from the inside of connection to Hakadosh Baruch Hu, that there is no point, ein od milvado, other than him. In our relationships with our friends, bein adam lechavero, in our relationships to anything in this world of a mundane nature, to eat bikdusha, to enter our work relationships bikdusha, everything, whatever we do is bikdusha. And Be'ezrat Hashem, Hashem should enlighten us. The Or Hashem should enlighten us b'shleimut. Now, I'm going to now say, I'm looking at the time. I have a few more minutes. I want to share something that the beauty that I learned in the Torah of the Chalban, Rav Chaim HaKohen Zecher Tzadik V'Kadosh Livracha. He points out, maybe you heard it before, that ptila, the wick of the candle, either sitting on the shemen or in the wax, it doesn't matter, but there's a wick there. The ptila is otiot tfila, are the same letters rearranged, ptila, which means wick. You get the word tfila, rearrange the letters and you get the word prayer. What is prayer? The secret of the ptila, of the wick, is the same as the secret of tfila. In Zohar Chadash, it speaks about the ner, about candles, that it reflects upon the Shekhinah in this world, that lighting the candles of the menorah, as the Kohen did in the Beis Hamikdash, and as we do, every Jew in his home, no matter what ruchnius level they're at, or what level of mitzvahs they're keeping, it doesn't really matter. Why do I say that? Because the halacha is that all wicks are kosher for lighting for Hanukkah. All wicks. The quality of the wick is not essential. There's a mehadrin way of doing it. You should choose a wick that is going to bring the brightest light and shine the brightest flame. But unlike Shabbos, there are limitations in what you can use for the body of the candle, for the wick of the candle. Hanukkah, there is no limitations. Because we're talking about lifting up the Shekhinah, to lift it up and to have its light manifested. And there's no Jew that doesn't have that nekuda pnimit of the light, the inner light within him, that cannot be ignited, no matter where they're coming from, where they're holding at in their spirituality, no matter what the wick looks like. You light the Hanukkah candles and you gaze upon them, it's going to do something internal for you. It's going to raise and elevate you. Now, let's go back a little bit to speak about the wick and tefillah, ptila and tefillah. They have the very, very similar functions. The wick negotiates between the fire that holds onto it from above to the and the shemen or the wax that feeds the fuel into the wick for it to be able to burn, to last in a way that the fire should catch and last within it. And the movement is from down to up. The wick draws the shemen, draws the oil, draws the neshama of the Jew from within upward to catch the fire of Hashem, the or of Hashem, and to bring it into all of creation. And that is really the function of tefillah. That tefillah is a movement of the created beings up towards Hashem, that we're asking Hashem, we are yearning for you. We are looking upon you. We want you to shine your light upon us. We want to be on fire with your light, so that when we live our life, it should be a life of meaning and a life of quality and sanctity and renewal and refreshment. And there's no fatigue there. And there's always a matter of renewal. And this is a kedusha that exists within every Jew. that every Jew has this tefillah. We're looking at the ner, it's very similar. It's like the candle is likened to a man. Ner Hashem Nishmat Adam. It's and through this, the tefillah. What is the tefillah? What is the tefillah? We're looking at the candles, and we're supposed to go into yearning fervor prayer, and we're praying for the light of Hashem, the Torah and mitzvahs that we do, build the body of a Jew, build the internality of the Jew, the pnimius of the Jew, to be able to sanctify everything for Hashem. It gathers up the wick, the tefillah gathers up all the kochot that were within the shem and the neshama of a Jew to be able to dedicate it to a Kadosh Baruch Hu. And we yearn to be set on fire, to do it right, especially in this time. Our call is for achdus. There's a very interesting halacha. It's found in Gemara Shabbos about what is the best way, how many Chanukiahs does one household need to light? So there's a mehadrin of mehadrin that every person should light their own Chanukiah. But really the basic halacha is is every one person in the household can be yotzeh the whole household. Now we don't have that in any other mitzvah. One person eating matzah can't be yotzeh all the other people around the Suda to eat the matzah. Every person has to eat the kazayis of matzah. But Hanukkah, you have the basic halacha is ner echad ish uveito. Ner echad ish uveito. What is that? That's about the unity. So a big point, a big part of Hanukkah is that the light that I find within the ptilah, within the wick, within the shemen that I'm gazing on, that is supposed to ignite my neshama, my personal connection to Hashem, it has to be a light that is also spreading from me in unity to everybody, and we put it, the Chanukiah, for everybody in the street to see also. And there's a halacha that a person who didn't bench Chanukiah in their own home, if they see a Chanukiah outside, there's, check with your local Orthodox rabbi how to do it. But the way to be yotzeh, even by seeing a Chanukiah from outside, and what you say in such a situation to be yotzeh, the chiyuv of lighting on Hanukkah, because there's an aspect of achdus, because Torah and mitzvahs have to refine us, have to bring us into achdus. It's not just about me. It's not just about me and myself and I. It's about the achdus. It's about igniting the soul of souls. It's connecting to a Kadosh Baruch Hu in great yearning. And Be'ezrat Hashem, this Hanukkah will be me'orer our yearning to tefillah. We should know what to daven for, to be refining ourselves in every aspect of our life, every relationship that we have. We have to spread that light throughout the land, throughout the world. Be'ezrat Hashem, this should send koach to our soldiers to do what they have to do. The light will reach those in captivity that are still in captivity. The light should reach them, should encourage them, should keep them going in the belief that they're going to be reunited. We have to hold on to the belief that there's a Kadosh Baruch Hu, ein od milvado. We have to, it's not our might and the might of our, I lived through the 6-Day War. I actually was a kid here living in the 6-Day War. And after the 6-Day War, the slogans were all over the place, were Kol HaKavod Tzahal. Today, Baruch Hashem, no one is saying Kol HaKavod Tzahal. It's Be'ezrat Hashem Tzahal Yinatzach. Be'ezrat Hashem Yachad Nenatzach. Be'ezrat Hashem, all the Chayalim want tzitzis. Be'ezrat Hashem, the treif restaurants in Tel Aviv, wherever they are, they're koshering their kitchens to be able to feed the soldiers, that no soldier should say, I can't have that, it's not kosher. Everyone is in this together. This is the light of Hanukkah, the light of the pnimius of the Jew, that when you touch the Jew, like the Greeks did, when you try to sever our connection from our Kadosh Baruch Hu, from our land, from our light to do Torah and mitzvahs on our land, the reaction is, Ein od milvado, there is Torah and mitzvahs, and we're going to prove it. Nothing else is important. None of our private agendas make any sense to us anymore. It's all be'achdut, beyachad nenatzeach, and Bezat Hashem will reach that Or Ganuz. Or, the Zohar HaKadosh says, is Gematria Raz. Raz means secret. Or, Aleph Vav Reish, in Gematria is Raz, it's 207. So the light of the Chanukiah, the light of the flame that the Jew lights, reveals a lot of secrets of creation and reveals the Kedusha that it permeates, that is meant to permeate, is meant to be manifested, and is meant to be actualized in the Bria, in Olam Hazeh. And so Bezat Hashem will look at the Chanukiah, we will refine ourselves, and we will mekabel Shem Shamaim, Ol Malchut Shamaim, and Bezat Hashem will hear good news from all over the land. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Yael. That was so gorgeous. Thank you so much, Mamish. Beautiful. Thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Gorgeous. Thank you. Okay, everybody.
That was
I
amazing.
have another meeting coming up, so I have to close us off. It was actually magnificent. Thank you, everybody.